So much more on the show today, and coming up we have more music on the show, and it's almost time for Al Mubarak to perform. And we've got some information for you coming straight from the horse's mouth about the luxury summit.
After that, we got a few laughs and a couple of discussions and even more music.
And food. And food.
Of
Don't forget the food. How could you forget the food?
Well, the whole studio is saturated with that aroma of good food.
So it's the top of the hour, and that means we have the news updates once more. It's all yours, Ugochi.
Thank you very much, Yomi and TT. At least 7 persons have been killed by cholera in 2 IDP camps in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. TVC News correspondent Kolumi Dala, who visited the camps in Dala, Limanti and Mona Garage, says 93 persons have so far been hospitalized. The Borno state government and non-governmental organizations have now put pressure in place and measures to prevent further spread of the disease. At least 293 cases have been recorded in the past 2 months. Imo State Police Command has confirmed the kidnap and murder of Reverend Father Syracuse Onunkwo. Police Commissioner Chris Ezike says the remains of the priest who was of the Olu Catholic Diocese has been recovered. He says though the police was informed of the abduction, the murder of the priest shows his kidnappers had planned on killing him as they had not placed any calls demanding a ransom. Ezike said the matter was properly reported to the police and investigation started immediately, adding that the Osu Divisional Police Officer reported the discovery of the corpse in its area of jurisdiction. A mini reunion took place yesterday as President Muhammadu Buhari hosted his classmates in the 1953 set of the Katsina Middle School. It was a meeting laced with nostalgic feelings, with the classmates reuniting after 64 years. The event occurred in the president's hometown in Daura, Katsina State, where he had been since the Eid al-Kabir holiday began. And the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Lasun Yusuf, is backing devolution of powers, noting that it is the answer to the calls by Nigerians for restructuring. He bemoans the concentration of power at the center, which he describes as the bane of socio-economic and political development of Nigeria. The lawmaker says the House of Representatives has taken significant steps towards amending the clause on devolution of powers in the 1999 Constitution. And outside Nigeria, Kenya's opposition leader Raila Odinga wants changes to his country's electoral commission before he can take part in the rerun vote called by the Supreme Court. Odinga told supporters that his coalition would only go to elections when they are sure the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, will not take a side. President Uhuru Kenyatta insists the poll should be rerun with the current electoral board, while the opposition wants the board dismissed. And that's it on the news updates. Now we bring you the day's weather forecast right now.
All right, so Mike is on standby again for sports.
Yeah.
Some great Super Eagle news.
Exactly. You know,
as we head on to Yaoundé.
Of course. Just before we came back, I was talking about it. Everyone loves to win now.
Yeah.
Be like, when we lose, they'll be like, those super chickens. And then when we win, we beat them.
Of course.
Everybody loves a winner.
Success, of course.
Everybody loves a winner.
All right, and then of course the Super Eagles are now safely booked at the Hilton Hotel in Yaoundé after a 50-minute flight from Uyo. The Eagles had their first training session inside the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé after Friday's stunning 4-0 win over Cameroon in Uyo. The victory put the Super Eagles 7 points clear of a struggling, indomitable Lions after 3 games in the Russia 2018 World Cup African Qualifying Group B. Zambia second with 4 points after their 3-1 victory on Saturday over Algeria, who have only 1 point. Today's match between the host Cameroon and Nigeria will be played inside the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé, and it will kick off at 6 p.m. Nigerian time. The overall winners of a group will qualify for next year's World Cup in Russia. And then the Confederation of African Football has called off its forthcoming inspection visit to Kenya, hosts of the 2018 African Nations Championship. The visit was scheduled to begin on Thursday, 7th of September, but Kenya's Football Federation said the current political situation in Kenya prompted CAF to take the decision. On Friday, the Supreme Court ruling annulled the President Uhuru Kenyatta's decision or election victory in the recent presidential elections. The CHAN is a 16-team championship reserved for locally based African footballers who play in their domestic leagues. Kenya is scheduled to host the tournament between 12th of January and 4th of February 2018. Rwanda hosted the last edition of the African Nations Championship in February 2016, which was won by the Democratic Republic of Congo. And then to F1 News, Mercedes Lewis Hamilton took the outright championship lead for the first time this season with a dominant victory in the Italian Grand Prix. A day after breaking the all-time record for pole positions, Hamilton was in total control at Monza, leading teammate Valtteri Bottas to a 1-2. Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel was third and is 3 points behind Hamilton. It is a crucial milestone for Hamilton as F1 next heads to Singapore, where Ferrari are expected to dominate. The victory was Hamilton's 6th of the season. Vettel has only 4, and it capped a perfect weekend for him. And then to US Open tennis, Roger Federer was in clinical mode as he solved Spain's Feliciano Lopez in straight sets to join Rafael Nadal in the US Open 4th round. The third seed, who came through 5 sets in the first 2 rounds, beat 35-year-old Lopez 6-3, 6-3, 7-5. 5-time champion Federer goes on to face Germany's Philipp Kohlschreiber in the last 16. In the other game, top seed Nadal earlier beat Argentina's Leonardo Meyer 6-7, 3-7, 6-3, 6-1, 6-4 in 3 hours and 16 minutes. With heavy rain halting play on the outside courts in the early evening, the action on Arthur Ashe Stadium stretched to almost 15 hours across the day. And that's it on sports news. Now I will take your predictions for today. Cameroon is at home against the Super Eagles.
Okay.
What are your predictions for today?
Wow.
It's going to be a draw.
A draw.
1-1.
Same for me. What do you
Really?
think? What do you think?
I have no idea. I actually haven't thought about it that well.
Okay.
But I'm thinking I'll stick with my initial prediction from before.
2-0. Wow.
In
cool.
favor of
In
Nigeria.
favor of
Yes.
Nigeria, Cameroon. All right.
Nigeria.
Cool. All right. Take it away.
All right.
All right. So thanks so much, Mike. And we're going straight to the papers for, again, this morning. Starting with the Daily Sun on the cover. And it says, Catholic priest abducted, killed. That's a strange story there. And then cholera kills 7 in Borno. Benue businessman slaughtered. Man shot dead by police during Salah. So a lot of violence there over the holidays. And Abga's head start in Anambra, November 18th, Goba poll on the cover of the Sun. And then NNPC shake-up, Ohaneze tackles Buhari. Igbo clerics caution president over IPOB leader Kanu. And then no law backing Ibadan chieftaincy review, lawmakers. And then finally, fumigate hyenas, jackals in your cabinet, Shehu Sani tells president. That's all on the cover of the Daily Sun this morning.
Okay, and on the cover of this day newspaper, there's the headline, "Enough is enough," Oshibajo tells separatist agitators. Southern leaders unveil 5-point agenda for restructuring. Buhari's trip to US is fake news, says Mohammed. There's another byline here. It says, 11 killed in Borno IDP camp. There's more information about that story on page 56 of this day. Ohaneze petitions Buhari over appointments in NMPC. There's a feature on that one too. Weak transmission stalls generation of 700 megawatts at Egmi as United States restates commitment to power Africa. That's an interesting one. On page 10, we have the story George Daniel in war of words over PDP national chairmanship. That's all on the cover of this day newspaper.
And then check out the Punch this morning. Patience Jonathan dares EFCC. Recovers seized 2 billion naira hotel. Why ex-Governor Silva recovered 48 houses. Says anti-graft commission. And then a couple of other stories here. Marketers fault NNPC as corporation says fuel price down to 142 naira per litre. And Buhari not going to US, says presidency. And then exchange rate, international airlines increase fares by 18%. And then still a couple of stories down here at the bottom. Benue flood crisis may worsen as NEMA threatens strike. Please don't go on strike, NEMA. And then PDP elects national officers on December 9th. ASU yet to get federal government's invitation for negotiation. That's Ogunyemi speaking there. And then finally, Ladoja tackles Ajimobi over 100 million naira Olubadan coronation spending. You'll find that story on page 14, all on the cover of the Punch.
Okay, we're moving to the Vanguard now. Appointments in NMPC, Ohaneze, Afenifere, PAN-DEF, senators, others, kick. Urge President Buhari to urgently review recent appointments. It's worse than a quit notice to Igbo, says Ovie. We're not surprised, say the senators and others. Now, there's another headline here. APC PDP in war of words over economy and free speech. You can get more information about that on page 8. We shouldn't spend resources debating division, says Buhari. More on that on page 14. The headline you mentioned earlier, Catholic priest kidnapped, murdered in Imo, also comes up in the Vanguard as a story on page 15. Dozens wounded as political violence rocks Kano. You can find out more about that on page 8. And okay, yeah, I think that's about it. But there's one here that says H1 2017, customer resistance, other factors cost 5 banks 363 billion naira decline in deposits.
Wow.
That's in the Financial Vanguard this morning.
All right, and then finally in the papers on the cover of The Nation, Diazani, ex-minister, son, others top Dubai assets list. And then inside, federal government begins payment of 200 billion naira salary arrears and allowances. And then report, Nigeria, South Africa likely out of recession. And then a couple of other stories here at the top. Investors seek $1.2 billion for Egmi expansion. And then finally, court okays EFCC's power to freeze accounts. All that on the cover of The Nation this morning.
And that's it on the headlines. The newspaper headlines are brought to you proudly by Dettol. Be 100% sure.
Quick break now, and we will be back for some more musical performances.
Enemies and they try you, but I never go solo. Ilai Arabi yo, bami yo bagbaye, bomi ya Allah. Kota malama bere pe Ọlọ́run mi da, ya fisun fi ṣọ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ mi. Wọ́n máa sí wa kún àti ká fagbára ẹ̀ gbogbo ní fún mi nínú o. Nínú o. Ọlọ́run ọlọ́lá gan dùn mí nínú o. Ọlọ́run ọba jọ dùn mí nínú o. أدعوك رب العباد إليك كل مرادي استجب دعائي يلا تبشر everybody كشاني كما شبع وبيباكم كدرو آمين بومي يا الله كتما لما بيرك يا لوني داو يا فيسو وفيسني الله في شاشمي wọ́n máa sí wa kú àti ká fagbára ẹ̀ gbogbo mi fún mi nínú o. Ọlọ́run dùn mí nínú o. Ọlọ́lá dùn mí nínú o. Ọlọ́run ọba tó láyé dùn mí nínú o. Ọmọ kéwú yẹmí óyá anja balutin sàmájà kúlín jẹ̀líyókù kàtúrà. Walla ya jabaru anjabaluti samaja kulli jaliyu kasura walla baumi ya Allah kosama lo ma bere pe Ọlọ́hun da ya fisun wa fisini Ọlọ́hun fi ṣọ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ mi wọ́n máa sí wa kún àti ká fagbára ẹ̀ gbogbo mi fún mi. Ọlọ́run dùn mí nínú o. Dùn mí nínú o. Ó yá ká máa ṣàmì. Àwọn tó yẹ ní sí àní ká máa ṣàmì. Ẹ jẹ́ kájọ ṣàmì. Ká máa ṣe rókun ẹ̀kọ́ mọ́ àmì ọ̀hálà. Ṣé bá wà láàárọ̀ ṣù? Ká máa ṣe bá wọn ṣàìsàn àmì ọ̀hálà. Adéwálé ṣàwọn láàárọ̀ ṣù. Ká máa ṣe ráhùn gbogbo àmì ọ̀hálà. Kàbúrú má ṣe wá rárá o. Kàbúrú má ṣe wá o àmì ọ̀hálà. Ó ṣe yọ̀ lọ́wọ́.